Hello everyone, welcome back. Today in this video I'm going to talk about mindfulness and in reference to our children. Now first let's understand what mindfulness is. Mindfulness in simple terms means that we are able to concentrate and work in the present situation without being tensed about the future or anxious about what has happened in the past. So we have a strong mind and body connection, and because of that connection we can completely involve in the present situation. Now what happens is that because we are so stressed and anxious, that there are small things happening inside our body and outside which work as cues for us to decide that whether it's the right time to pitch in and break the vicious negative cycle of the mind and body. If we train our children from the very starting to be mindful, it will help them to get better concentration in the class, to handle their emotions better, to feel less sad, less depressed. They will not have anxiety attacks and panic attacks if they've failed previous attempts of exams or tests. So we will, in a way, prepare them good for the future. So now, before we start telling our child how to learn it or we try to train them, there are a few things that parents need to understand. First, practice for yourself before you start preaching, because these notorious kids are like big copycats. A lot of things they just observe from their parents and then they learn it. Second, earlier you introduce to your child, better it is, because we know that the first 6 years are like the formative years, and they are very open, very flexible, very enthusiastic about everything. So it's better to start early. If you feel that your child has crossed that age, then also you've not lost it completely. You have heard that it's better to be late than never. So start from wherever you feel comfortable and from wherever it is easy. Next is that persistence and consistency is very important, because these things are like abstract things. We are every day dealing with concrete things. So to get used to something that's so abstract, like your thoughts, like your emotions, it will take time. Now, let's get on to the technique. First technique would be breathing technique, in which you not only teach the child how to inhale and exhale, but also help the child relate that how exhaling is much better and makes you feel much calmer as compared to when you inhale and putting pressure on your body. Second could be sound meditation, in which you train the child how he can attend to different sounds around, the pitch, the volume, all such factors of the sound, to decide for himself that what type of sounds will soothe him and what type of sounds will work the opposite way. Because if we see in our everyday life, the younger kids, like 6 months, 8 months, one child holds a rattle and feels very happy with the sound and light. But there will be some other child of the same age group who will react the opposite way and will just start crying. So everyone has their own levels of sensitivity. Let the child know what can calm him. Next, let him feel the things deliberately around him, because it is very important to again understand and relate that how if certain thing comes to the child, so how does he feel? These days we parents are very anxious, and we try to regulate the natural experiences that can teach a lot of things to the children. For example, we've never, I think, allowed a child to go deliberately outside and step on the wet mud. We'll say that it's yucky, don't go, will dirty your feet and all of that. But let the child go and experience it. Maybe that wetness of the mud, gives a soothing and a calm experience to the body and the emotions. Now, just because we have stopped that child and we have already labeled how it's going to feel, that exploration for the child comes to an end. So just be open with the different experiences. Obviously, it will vary according to your child's immunity and a lot of other things, but more natural experiences the child will have, and better he will be allowed to explore. I'm sure he will learn one day how to be mindful. Next, you can try is body scan. What happens in body scan is that you quickly go through your body head to toe and see how your thoughts are working, how you're feeling, how your body is reacting, whether you are sweating, whether your heart's beating faster, what's happening in the body. Because these are the small cues that our body gives time and again, and we tend to ignore them. For example, there are a lot of clients of mine, a lot of parents who say my child is very aggressive. The response that comes out is very extreme. He suddenly attacks. So just understand that doesn't happen suddenly. There's something that's escalating that anger in your child. Your child has never been trained or is sensitized to the lower levels. So whenever those lower things are happening, your child ignores, ignores, and ignores. When it reaches its height, when it's escalated to the point that it's unbearable, then is when the reaction comes. So we have to train our child how to be in connection with mind and body. Once they know how to pick up the cues from their mind and from their body, they will on their own know that meditation will help me, or listening to a particular music will help me, or engaging with a particular thing will help me. So let your child decide for himself, be there as a support, and if there's anything in particular regarding mindfulness or a particular situation that has happened with your child, you know what you have to do. Connect to me by leaving a comment or approaching me through my FB page or my Instagram page. Till then, stay home, stay safe, stay connected. Let's all be mindful.